Guy Buzzoni does a lot of walking. He's Vice President of Infrastructure Development at Global Terminal, and he's in charge of construction for Global's expansion project. Every day he walks the terminal to check progress.
Well, usually in between meetings and paying bills, I try to get out at least once or twice a day. You never know who you're going to encounter on the walks, but generally it's good just to see the progress of work that you can't observe from a vehicle. And oftentimes, you'll encounter contractors that have a question or a field issue. So it's a much quicker way to resolve things, being out on foot and dealing with the issues firsthand.
Guy Buzzoni is a civil engineer and a New Jersey native. During his career, he's helped build container terminals in places as diverse as Virginia, Los Angeles, and Italy. At Global, he's managing a construction site alongside a busy cargo operation.
The fact that it's a construction project within an operating terminal environment, the added complexity is to ensure that the operations of the terminal are maintained throughout the period of construction. Because of the operation, we have to do the construction in much smaller segments. So like for instance, instead of building these RMG stacks their entire length, end to end, we've actually had to sequence the work to build half stacks. And that was primarily because the opposite half of the stack was still used for managing the container operation. And slowly we have transition plans where as the construction progresses into the existing terminal kind of retreats and backfills into other areas that were previously being constructed.
Global's expansion is not on a greenfield site. Instead, it's atop a 40-year-old terminal. This creates additional complexity.
So the challenges in doing that is lots of times you rely on records from 20, 30, 40 years ago. When you actually go out and start excavating, hoping to make connections or reroute utilities, it's very common to not find the utilities where you thought they were, or if you find the utilities are dead or inactive, or worst case is when you actually dig where you think there are not utilities and you end up breaking one. If it's a critical infrastructure, like often electricity or data cables are, you then have to immediately respond, repair the cables quickly, and then go back to the drawing board to figure out how to reroute around the infrastructure that you just damaged and repaired.
For weeks, Buzzoni and his team have been racing to lay as much paving as possible. Concrete can't be laid in extremely cold weather, and soon many New Jersey asphalt plants will shut down until spring.
Well, winter is fast approaching, so what we're trying to do is get to a point that we have a sufficient amount of paving in place to allow all of the crane equipment and the IT technology to be tested and commissioned throughout the winter. And then once the spring arrives, we'll be putting the final surface and striping on all the asphalt to be ready to open and operate in April. We have a weather service that gave us a 45-day temperature outlook from now until New Year's Day. So it's not our intention to try to get 4 weeks of paving in between now and the end of December. And that 4 weeks of paving will mostly be done at night. So for productivity and plant supply restrictions, we have to pave at night, and we'll start paving at night 1st of December, and we hope to finish by the 20th of December.